So if you liked what you saw from Dodo Nut on Breeze, I guarantee you're going to love it here on Icebox because there's no real variations. There's nothing new coming in. It's just the standard stuff all the time. So I think it relieves some of that utility pressure that we might see from the Viper here of TSM as we jump on in. Pistol coming on through, and Diana thought she went unnoticed, but Cat gonna find the first frag, and Lori maybe the next to fall. No, it's Lori instead. Trading that kill back to the Reyna's taken off the table. And that spike, let's head it over towards that B site.
I think a bit of a miscomm out of Shopify there. I think Diana thought she had support up top, but wasn't quite in position, so she falls. But trade means it is all good. The Viper wall was delayed for Dodonut. She never popped that up right away, so now she can commit it onto this take. Panini, though, has the snake bites and is in a very good spot to delay. However, the drone might just sniff her out. No, I think she goes unchecked now. She'll be spotted. Will she make the play forward for the spike? Doesn't look likely. It's KP instead to try her hand, but just doesn't work out. So 3v4, spike planted, and, well, there's still a Viper alive. That makes things very risky.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. You know, the Viper can only use, I guess, one of those snake bites if you purchase the Poison Clouds. I'm interested to see what Dodo chose in this one. I mean, it doesn't even come down to the utility. None of it matters. Panini was the last one standing, but only for a moment as TSM off the back end of a map loss on Breeze will snake away the pistol and get things going nice and early here on Icebox.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about KP just kind of running forward and taking a fight there. I don't think it was the play because she had absolutely no support and died as a result. I think that would have been a lot more winnable if they could wait for her dart to come back up, play off the contact of that on the retake, but it doesn't happen. TSM able to lock it down. I like that they're not over-reliant on the aggression, or excuse me, not over-reliant on the utility because they had the aggression out towards yellow. They weren't completely tucking in. They weren't afraid to take those fights. It works well. Now we have a second round where TSM is buying up and Shopify is just on the pistols. Lots of shorties to be had here.
Yeah.
So still a bit dangerous, but it will likely only be eco damage if the shorties do find one.
Oh, no way. Diana swings just so early there. And, well, the drone spots out the other duelist. Kath able to take them both down. So a couple of kills already working towards the Empress as the healing orb comes on through. And, well, for Shopify, they all start to get mowed down. Flowerful looking to do some damage. Is able to do damage onto one. Maybe the next. No, not able to land the shot. So Flowerful biting off a bit more than she could chew there at the end as TSM will net their anti-eco win.
Dude, it just looked like Kath had like a big fly swatter. It was just slapping everyone out of the way. One here, another little easy one onto Lori, and, you know, is what you expect out of that superior buy. But now we get to see Shopify on their rifles. Lori's not going to have money for an op in this round, so they're not greeting for that too early on. I think over on Breeze, we saw her pulling out the glass cannon off on that third round. It didn't do too much for them, so I don't hate to see her sticking with the rifle. She's a Jet who can do either, so no need to greed for that. TSM, spike towards mid, quick out towards B. They'll have full space towards main, but with that space given away, they still have that Viper in close to deny.
And I like that one way that we see kind of tucked away on that storage container rather than just the one on top of the gray box. Although you can take, I guess, safe passage out from long on the left side. But that one way just crossing over to yellow, it really makes you have to respect that push. Flowerful now in a tough spot, gonna get pinged out, taken down, opts into running through the poison cloud and not escaping through mid. So a tough spot to be in, but KP fortunately able to trade one back here for Shopify. This is a big round to win economically. This is just a bonus for TSM and it's KP to fall.
Yeah, that it is 4-3. Way of players here. Still Lori in close, but she has no real way to fight this immediately. It's lesser arms with this TSM camp, but it's still double mollies available for the Viper. That's 12 whole seconds of delay if it comes down to it. Shopify have to go quick if they want to commit to this.
And we've seen plenty of time. Teams wearing down the clock before retaking, and they're able to find a couple of kills, make it some more as Diana now looking to find the last one standing as the spike just gonna be stuck. The frags will come on through. The snake bite is there, but unfortunately nothing else on top. Oh no, Panini will go out on her shield as they blow the air horns in respect. Either way, Shopify able to find the round.
You heard the 21 gun salute. Get ready for the 2 air horn salute.
Yeah.
All right, well, round is picked up there by Shopify Rebellion. I said they needed to go quickly, and they did exactly that. Lori just dashes forward. Diana's there to work out. Again, feels like it's Game Changers 1, right? It's the good old days of Lori on the Jet, Diana on the Reyna. I love to see it. This is a comp that I felt like Shopify was missing, and it's working well for them. TSM, pretty much full reset here. For a little bit, but they still have been able to find some weapons to work with. Was just the bonus in that last round. Diana, ooh, I think she got heard there. Kath holding the line, but won't find the shot just yet. It's Athena instead. Lori on the trade back.
And now nest for nest across the A side. It's going to be Lori and Kath. And, well, Kath's about to find a nice surprise here. It's Lori trying to leap away up towards pipes. KP now in a tough spot as Kath just going to play the ropes. Unfortunately, not able to find the frag. So a 2 for 2 overall. KP only taking a bit of chip damage. And with the Sage still alive, it's basically light shields and full HP for the Sova here in a moment once they link up. Now Panini on a nice little lurk through kitchen, able to find the backstab onto Emily as that spike goes down. Only 2 remain here for TSM, but they have the Viper's Pit, and well, there it is, the domain expansion. Now the retake gets a whole lot harder. Leah looking to battle onto 1, able to find a kill onto Flowerful, looking for the next onto Panini, but leaves it all up to Dodo here inside the pit, so a lot of space to work with, and again, Shopify running out of time.
Dodo not good position to be found here, but KP not taking that decay. They're right on the other side. KP jumps up. No donut goes out for the moment. Panini getting chipped away. 2 mollies still to work with, and in the pit, they're even more powerful. 10 seconds left. She has to go now, but the payroll spotted. The spray is good. It's Dodo with the clutch. TSM, it comes down to the 1v1, but they'll pull forward to 3.
That's a huge play, and a lot of that is enabled by the frags that were found there at the end of that round. So Shopify Rebellion, they end up winning after defusing that spike, but 3 players died. They jump into that next round. They have 2 Spectres and I believe 3 rifles.
Yeah.
And it's a full buy for TSM, so they're just so much stronger. And then obviously having that Viper's Pit to play with and Dodo being able to clutch that one out is absolutely huge off the back end. So not to let that go unnoticed, but it was the frags on that bonus that really helped TSM secure another round. And now the thrifty for Shopify as they push on through mid. Right behind the drone is Lori. Knives out, and Athena might be first to contact here as Kath spots out Panini. Sheriff shot gonna go wide. Lear just to back Panini off, keep her at bay for now. Oh, knives come true for 1 as Athena will fall. Kath is able to slip away, but 3 members make it 4 now, have assumed their positions on the A site. The spike should be planted. Nice and easy, like, and they got a couple of ultimates to play with should they need.
Yeah, Kath does fall back here, which means there's a gun recovered, so now 2 dangerous players in the server. KP is still holding this direction, but TSM want to take the space. However, Diana denying a lot of it, finds a frag, now the pressure on.
And it's the knives for 1, it's the weapons picked up for another. The knives look to go good again, but leaving it all up to Panini here with just a sheriff in hand, and again, working against the clock. Snakebite gonna find some chip damage. The vulnerability gonna be the most important thing here is the tap on the spike, and well, the high ground goes away of Dodo, excuse me, who's having herself a game here, Mimi.
Yeah, 2 rounds in a row where she clutches things up in the 1 versus X and is able to come out on top for TSM. The clutch potential is insane on her. I mean, obviously, I didn't hear anything about her for the longest time. When she was announced as trialing with TSM, I was like, ooh, who's this? And I looked into it a little bit, and it's like, she used to play comp in her home country. I think she's from Singapore and was playing it for a while there. Now she's hopping on into NA and gets a huge opportunity right off the rip to play with TSM. I think this might be exactly what the roster needs because it's looking good thus far. However, Shopify in this one, they have the money, they have the op in Lori's hands. Finally, those economic woes have faded away. And again, look how much space they have for free here. TSM is not contesting this op aggression whatsoever.
And with this purchase for Shopify, it's another big round economically, and you're really hoping that you can sneak away this win, but not only grab the win, but have few deaths behind it. So that way you're powerful enough to start stringing a couple of wins together. We obviously have already seen Those rounds go the opposite way. Emily pushes up. Cloudburst on top of the wall. No, on the opposite side, the vulnerability. Panini nets the first kill as Kath trades one back. Hunter's Fury trying to sit Kath down. No, it's Dodo to fall. Kath will still remain. We'll back away and find another frag. So 2 for 2 is where we find ourselves as Kath tries to sneak away to Smith. Just not enough. The re-equip wasn't there either. Shopify, a player ahead, but they're still not only working against the clock, but a Resurrection and a Hunter's Fury as well here, Mimi.
Oh, the Sage is running back, so there'll be a flank through mid, but it's a matter of timing. Panini starting to defuse. Hunter's Fury up. This needs to be the factor to delay. As the res comes through, it's already half.
Yeah, oh, might be stuck here. Shots gonna go through the Radiant box, but they're not gonna land. Shopify, they managed to steal away the round and look to do some extra damage. But again, at what cost, Mimi? 3 players die, and I'm really interested to see where they go in this purchase here in this round.
Yeah, I think that TSM got a little bit greedy in that one to play off that res. I feel like if they were able to play together still towards that site, you could have had Athena delaying, waited for that Hunter's Fury to come out, and then Baby denied. But by going for that Resurrection, you effectively make it a 1v3, and then the rotates are just too late from mid, and it's basically an ult used for nothing. Shopify rebounding, but TSM, they still have some money in the bank, and they're taking things a lot quicker here. Another push up towards Tube. This time, no Hunter's Fury to nullify, and really no utility to alert Shopify of this fact just yet whatsoever either.
Okay, nice shock dart from KP. Finds a bit of damage. Oh, the drone goes out, but I mean, the information already found by Flowerful, the human drone, and oh, it's Kath doing Kath things again. Just being a thorn in the side. The rat on the Reyna, just making it work. Shopify, it didn't even come down to the arsenal here in this one. It was just the round played out so well by TSM. Should net them another win. And on top of that, they've got the Viper's Pit online again. So if not needed in this round to secure it, is Emily doing her own rat thing on top of the tubes. Gonna leave it all up to Diana. Trades back 1 kill. Still healthy on the Reyna. Has a couple of Leers, the Devourer, the Dismiss available. Shock dart not gonna land for damage through the toxic screen. Dodo's able to find the frag. 5-2 the scoreline here for TSM. And yeah, this is tough. It's Blades available for Emily. It's Viper's Pit. I mean, those 2 ults alone surely secure another round.
Yeah, it's likely. And this is looking kind of sloppy, honestly, right now for Shopify. Like, they completely left Kitchen open. No one was holding it.
Yep.
I mean, they don't have a Sentinel to lock it down. You either have to commit that Sage Wall or you have to commit a person to do it. And I'm surprised that they didn't cover that area. Because just last round, TSM was putting an emphasis on this. They've always had pressure towards mid. There's been significant situations where TSM has gone for these walk-ups. So it's just strange to me that no one is looking, and then you get that unfortunate timing in towards B main where the drone comes out and Sorrowful falls. It denies that trade potential, and then KP just trapped out in the open. I don't know. Shopify just kind of not looking the same on this map, and TSM, to rebuke that, they're looking incredibly strong here. They're just kind of slower style into these nice quick executes is perfect because they're being given a lot of space. Like Kath, we talk about her calling on the duelist, but when you're calling on the duelist and you're playing it just kind of as a lurker, walking up, garnering that information, garnering the space, it makes the calls easy to make, and thus far they've been very successful.
Yeah, and it's the going uncontested as well, right? If you're not adding any friction to Kath's play style, and like you said, she can just clear comms. It's just you're inside Cerebro at that point. You can kind of get a solid read on what Shopify are able to do. So, and you know, this is why we were playing a little bit earlier, Mimi, and you said I would much rather have X Agent over your Killjoy. But that's what I love about when teams bring the Killjoy to this map, because it's an alarm bot inside a kitchen. It's a turret inside a kitchen. You have all that information. And I think there's really no reason, especially when TSM are on rifles, to not use your wall inside tube every single round, right? That's where Flowerful should just be slapping that one down. Pistol round, I understand. You save it, you go for a defuse with it, or you go for a plant with it, whatever. But when they have the rifles and you're not going to get as much value elsewhere on the map with that wall, you definitely need to be throwing it down inside tube. Now, unfortunately for Shopify, they're back on an eco round. And I say unfortunately, but oh my goodness. Okay, Panini and Diana coming alive here for a couple of frags. It's traded right back. And now Lori kind of taking a page out of Diana's book, playing this angle here in 410. But if we've learned anything from last time, it's don't peek too soon. Let them come to the shorty, and we'll see if that transpires.
Leah
that's
right
tough.
through the smoke. Good work onto Panini there. Lori still has the shorty in close, but there's someone up on top of Heights. Is she ready? Absolutely. She loses a teammate as a result, but now that's the bomb. That's a spike in her possession. Oh no, shorty going wide. Sourdough donut shot. So she has to try and refight this with the shorty from range. Finds it to a 1 versus 1. It's KP, but she has a great flank here. Still unnoticed. Spike not in Leah's possession. She has to go up and over, and this should all be hurt. Oh no. Did Leah see her? I'm not sure.
That is tough
She
to
must
read
have.
there. Yeah, now, I mean, position known as that dart comes through. It has to know KP coming on the flank, but a lot of noise was made to grab that spike, and it just came down to timing there. KP could have had such a strong position had she not been spotted or been playing just a bit further back to not give up any information. Goes for the jump swing there, is looking to take the fight right to Leah, and well, Leah comes out on top. The Thrifty will slip through the hands of Shopify Rebellion as TSM will grab their 6. But something that I wanted to know while we were on that pause, Mimi, and we got a long look at that scoreboard, is there's been a lot of damage. Shopify haven't been winning the rounds, but the economy, it's not fantastic here, right? Even in rounds 1, they're doing so much damage that nobody's sitting above. I guess you have one player on 4,000. It's Leah Panda who survived in that last round. So if you're Shopify and you string a couple together right here, right now, TSM's gonna be hurting.
Yeah, I can think of at least 4 rounds that came down to a 1v1. 2 times with Donut in a pit, right there with the Silva v Silva. I think 1 other time as well. So this could very easily be swinging Shopify's way if just a couple little things were different. Lori able to pick off that opener, but Emily immediately retaking space. She drops down, breaks her legs. This should be well read. Panini not yet pushing it, and Emily circumvented her. KP unaware. Panini has to be the one to lock this down. Has the angle. Oh, doesn't have the shot quite yet. There's someone up towards kitchen. Panini needs to turn. She dies for it. Panini. Oh no, a bit of a fumble. Now TSM looking prime for another round here. They even have the pit if necessary.
Yeah, so the pit and the blades have been online for the last couple of rounds. We will see that pit used here just to secure this one, but I don't even think it would have come down to that. It's missed shots there onto Emily from Panini, but even more so, Kath just getting free reign up through tube, up in the kitchen. Nobody playing that position. Panini, unfortunately, pays for it with her life. Yeah, again. And TSM just run away with another round.
It makes me want to, like, pull my hair out, because this is, like, the 3rd or 4th round now where something very similar to that happened. Panini just didn't hear the footsteps, wasn't ready to adapt upwards, so Emily finds that timing. This makes me really miss, I think Hunter Thieves might still run something similar to it, but it makes me miss the old Sonics comp, where you had basically this exact thing, but you just switch out your Reyna for a Killjoy there. Like, you have so much utility to work with on both sides. You can be a cringe post-plant team, and you can also lock it down on the defense, because you put your Viper in towards B main or A main. They're an anchor. You have that Killjoy playing mid, turret normally for under tube, and then a alarm bot or up in kitchen, and you completely lock that down. Like, I don't like double duelist comps in this day and age, and I think, like, the rain on these two players is great, but, like, especially for a team like TSM, I feel like Kath could do the same thing she's doing on a Killjoy. It would work well for her. I don't know. That's just kind of my opinion on it, but when you don't have that, you have to find a different way to do it. That's committing a player, and that player was supposed to be Panini, but she just missed the timing.
This time it does look like they put a player inside. It's Diana playing inside the tube, trying to challenge Kath, but basically all 5 members from TSM push on up that B long and able to get that spike plant basically for free as Diana gets spotted out, tries to trace back some damage. I believe just a Spectre in hand though, so unfortunately not getting a whole lot of damage there. Even in a headshot, wouldn't have done a whole lot. Kath gonna pop the Empress, now looking to go aggressive, try and keep Shopify at bay. Dark is taking down location reveal, but okay. The Hunter Sherry gonna be queued up as well, and well, it's Leah to steal away the kill onto Lori. The defuse coming on through. Flowerful just trying to stick it. Oh my goodness, the wall actually worked, Mimi.
All right, well, you were complaining that she wasn't using for mid, but I guess she uses it one better, finds a round almost completely individually, but still, it's nothing consistent. Shopify don't have a road where they can find these rounds. All 3 that they've won have been down to clutches, have been down to heroics. They need to find a way forward to chain more rounds together to hopefully find this to a 5-7 for them. But TSM, I don't think they're going to let that win them, right? And the reason that I'm seeing that is because they're not taking attack. They're like, all right, whatever. 1 round, we reset, we go again, we still have money in the bank. And this time, they're just kind of going to take it slow. Bit of a default spread here. One working that mid flank, one working out towards A as the drone will clear through this B main. Shopify, they found their one. Can they get more?
Okay, so they go directly from making me eat my words and making that wall work on a rifle round. Some way, somehow, just because it worked doesn't mean it was the right play. To transferring, or I guess almost switching thoughts and putting a wall up inside a kitchen. So now they have it inside of tube to not give that up for free. So maybe that was always cooking. That was always in the works. And then in that round, they say, well, I've got the wall. Let's go ahead and try and send it. Like you said, it's going to take a whole lot more than that. These one-off kind of cheese rounds for Shopify to start finding wins. Diana looks to go aggressive. May just, no way. Misses out on the timing. No, doesn't miss out. Able to get some damage, but too much traded back. A headshot for Leah Panda, going to secure the first kill here in the round.
That it will. Now this is just full rotation made in towards the A site. Hunter's Theory popped early before even a tap on the spike, and it finds Athena. Great work by KP. Res up. Lori another frag. It's capped down. Wall keeps him at bay, but there's no pit for this post plant. Has to come to this 3v5. They likely have to get aggressive to try and greed for these kills, and Lori already finding so much, just narrowly misses the timing onto Leah, but Leah still gets one. KP on the trade back, and now there's a flank underway. Emily gonna be late to the party. It's Doe Donut who has to hold on, but the flanker falls. Now it's just the new girl, and, well, not gonna happen for her. Shopify finally able to chain 2 rounds in a row.
2 rounds in a row as we go to the last round of the half. I think the economy is still good for TSM to be able to purchase into this one. If not, you obviously have a couple of ultimates to work with. Yeah, okay. So after 3 in a row, that's finally where we saw some of these players start to max out. So Leah Panda not dying in the last few rounds really helped TSM propel themselves in terms of economy. That round went a whole lot different. Now, the wall was used inside a kitchen. There was no lurk, but I'm not sure if Kath had even known that there was a wall inside kitchen. It doesn't look like they're going to make that same play again. So the conditioning from TSM is doing exactly what it needs to. A snake bite traded for an owl drone, information for information, and unfortunately, it's TSM on top, spotting out the 2 players out towards B long. Another snake bite, trying to keep the team at bay for just a moment. At the very least, again, vulnerability is the name of the game for the snake bites, and Kath seems pretty indestructible here in this one. Finds that first frag, and again, it's all 5 stacked up to take B long, and it's Shopify once more on the retake.
And we'll come down to that. They still have Panini in a position to fight Lori as well. Talent wins back with the res. Brings Emily right back into the fray. Spike still yet to come down, but it's almost working for TSM because the frags are just swinging in their favor.
The res came through, and unfortunately, Athena paid for it with her life, but still a player ahead from that early frag. Thanks to Kath. Now they're looking to rotate back, and they're going to be met here. It is going to be KP who could come up huge. Able to find the first. Will back away, so a heads-up play still very healthy on the Sova. Tosses out the dart. Will recall back out towards mid. Does get spotted, I believe, or maybe a spot of her own. As they cross mid, Emily holds for just a second. The spike looking to go back towards the B side, and maybe that is the call. It's a 3v3. Blade still available, but Emily very low in HP. No way to heal up here, so a scary spot to be. And yeah, again, running out of time. You have to just send it. Somebody's going to have to get the plant down, and Leah now needs to be careful not to die. This could be the round unless they find the frags. The spike retrieved. Dodo tried to plant again, but they just didn't find it. Panini has a huge round for a 7-5 half.
Oh, wow. What a round out of the Shopify Rebels. TSM losing their Sage very early on, so they know they have nothing to work with in that plant. They try and make the rotation to that A site, which can be easier to get the spike down on, but they meet KP, and well, KP really the one to kind of set her teammate up to bat to push Shopify into the advantage, to allow Panini to grab that 4K. It's a pretty good half for both teams. I think both will be fairly confident in this, but we have to remember how strong the attacker side of the Shopify Rebels was on Breeze. They're a team that's consistently stronger on their attacking side, even sometimes on maps that lean a little defensively. So TSM, they're not out of the woodwork just yet. They still need to find this pistol and keep things rolling. It's a strong half for them, but it's no safety net.
You'll see what Shopify have cooked up on the attacking side as Kath gonna play that same aggression that we saw from Diana and maybe reap a few more rewards.
I got the spike.
Is forced back, so Not going to fall in that position. The nice owl drone used here. The owl drone's so expensive. So expensive. Now you can get the owl drone, get some armor, but no shock darts if that is the case. So it's going to be tough to clear out some of these angles. Obviously, that post plant kind of goes out the window as well. And I don't think Diana spotted out Dodo. We saw it on our screen, but now that snake bite will give away the position. And well, through the toxic screen, Diana's going to fall. It's the first frag as the spike looks to go down. Flowerful using that wall to keep herself safe. We'll back away. Now Shopify look to hold down the B site, player down.
I think Diana was hit by that debuff, so double damage. But look at KP, double kill going forward. Lori as well. There's only one trade in reply. TSM FTX in a very tough spot here, but they're fighting forward. Emily going for something. Panini on the shutdown trade is through, but it's a double swing. It's a single kill. It's Shopify winning their 6th round. This basically nullifies the lead. We could be looking at tied odds now.
And this is kind of what we mean when we say that 7-5 isn't really a lead, because you're one pistol round away from finding yourself in a tie game. Now, obviously, there are their own economic implications. You know, you get tied up 7-7, and the winning team will be, I guess, the team that was at 7 but lost 2 will be on their full buy. That was confusing in my head. Or the way that I was going to say it was about to make that confusing, although it came out just as. But yeah, so 7-7 is kind of the game resets. Shopify, they get some wind in their sails, and Kath looks to go aggressive, able to find that first frag, and no way, able to sneak away for just a moment, still alive, but not able to find the next as TSM knocked down to just 3, make it 2 pegs left on this squad. As the spike yet to be planted in the classics. My classic does not work like that. Athena, what are you doing? Now Dodo looking to get something done here with the classic as well. Found a Spectre. Now looking to strip away the weapon of Panini, and unfortunately shows too much. The shots will land, and the score will be tied up at 7.
What the grief? I don't get it. I want my classic to do that. Okay, Athena.
Yeah.
Very cool. It's eco damage, but that's really all it is. The spike plant comes down, so it's an extra 300 creds for Shopify, and it's a clean TM round for them. They'll have an okay bonus here. They're actually investing quite a bit. Flowerful getting that rifle on the board. I just realized she only has 1 kill. That's unlucky.
Yeah, I mean, that is sometimes what we kind of see often from the Sages, right, as a whole.
Yeah.
Especially
she was having
the way...
trouble anchoring mid.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing, is the way that they were utilizing the Sage on defense. It really felt like Flowerful kind of handcuffed in her abilities to be able to find some frags. So now we see KP once more opting into the Ghost, which tells me maybe looking to play or allow her teammates to dip into her pockets just a bit as we find ourselves 7-7. This is the round that we talked about where TSM are going to have the advantage in terms of firepower. Flowerful looks to get that spike down. Katz is able to find another frag as Panini rounds a corner. No, the wall goes down from the plant, and Shopify in a tough spot. It's all up to KP. Very healthy with the Phantom in hand, but 3 players to worry about right in front. 1 shock dart went wide. We'll see how the next pans out as well. Athena just going to run right on through, find the headshot and the defuse. TSM will grab their lead right back.
Hero Rifle really not getting too much done there whatsoever for the side of Shopify Rebellion. It was all up to Kat there, just getting some quick little aggression around the wall, finding a double for herself, and putting her team on the right track to close that out. The point I was making about Flowerful for a second, or what I'm thinking, is that, like, on that defensive side, you said it was like handcuffs. It was that she was just getting pressured every round. There was like 2 players pushing her every single time, so she was never in a position to succeed. And now I'd expect her to have maybe a bit of a better time in this half, because as a Sage, once you plop that wall down, you have a lot of freedom. Your only real job, get that wall down, get the plant, then you can do whatever you want. It's not like you're a Viper or a Sova, or your utility is super crucial in the post plant. So I hope to see Shopify just playing a little bit looser now, because I think they were too stiff. They were too slow to adapt on that defensive side, and that's how things start to slip away from them. But TSM, they're looking loose right now, right? They're not afraid to get aggressive. They're not afraid to run it into their opponent's face on that bonus round. And here again, Diana lurking Reyna. She's working out towards B alone. As the rest of her team slow up towards this A site as they have pulled 1 rotation. It's Leah on her way over.
Emily tagged up, spotted out, but I believe that information already known. No way Lori hits that shot. Emily to fall, and Diana It's traded out across the map, but the play is over towards the A side as KP drops the spike, looks to back away. Unfortunately, droneless after finding that tag onto Emily earlier, but still has the ultimate available. And I wonder where we see that, if it's the post-plant meta for Shopify, or if it's going to be looking to find a frag off the back end of that recon bolt. And it does look like it might just be playing to hold it down. Now, Leah, the player that was rotating nice and early, is going to play out towards mid. Kath might just go undetected, and this is just such a bad spot to be in. Kath goes huge for free, the dismiss away, and it's all up to Panini, who found the lurking Leah, now needs to find Kath, and will do so. Kath with 4. Panini needs to match with the 4K of her own, and unfortunately, the corners go unchecked once more. It's TSM to 9.
Yeah, Diana's lurk there really did nothing for the team. I think it was almost more of a detriment than anything, because they knew that Diana was likely to be alone in that play. She falls to the player in towards spawn, but she never notes that there's someone up yellow. That player was always Kath, so Kath takes that timing to push up, tuck in, had the full information that it couldn't be B, and then the second she heard footsteps, the rotates were fully underway. She was in a spot that went unchecked and was able to clean up on her own. Great work to Kath in that round, as they do reset Shopify onto this save. Shopify, lots of ults to work with. Blade Storm, Pit, so maybe they can force the matter here and get something done. But you see the aggression out of Kat. She's just feeling it right now.
Yeah, looking to just steal it away here. If Shopify want to go aggro, it's going to be matched. Well, TSM out on top as Emily gets tagged up. Forced to use that tailwind to get away. KP still able to find a frag, but it's a 2-for-1 thus far as the Hunter Fury goes wide on the last shot. Not much else to be found. There's the Pit. The Blades as well, able to find one. Now in a 3v3 situation, Lori continues to move forward, and Shopify can play inside the Pit.
Oh, Emily, operator into the retake of a Pit. This is one of the worst situations for her to be in. And you see how deeply this extends. If she puts her feet into that Pit, she puts herself at a huge risk. We have Panda on the drone, trying to reveal forward, but doesn't find the tag. Now this retake is so hard, especially with someone wrapping maze.
Emily now, weapon in hand, able to find the Viper, so the Pit will fall. A 2v2 situation. The Knives gonna go wide, and well, where is KP playing? KP able to find the kill on Dodo. Now has the high ground. The head spotted out, and Emily with the flick will push TSM to double digits.
Jesus Christ. Emily is just having a banger of a game here for herself. The operator was in her hands, but she swaps on over to the rifle, goes absolutely huge with it. I thought this setup was going to be incredibly hard for her to win over, because you had this player, you see on the minimap right now, you had someone in towards maze, you have someone playing close on site. It's effectively a crossfire, but the swing is too late, and while Emily is just so quick on those flicks, denies it in the 1vx, and that's it was the save round for Shopify, so it's not worst case scenario, but they committed a lot. 3 ults into that to try and force the matter. Now the only real thing they have to work with here is an Empress. At least they have guns to work with.
And if we were back on Breeze, I would say, yeah, that Empress is going to be a problem, but Diana been fairly quiet here on Icebox, so hopefully can find some value just as Athena did. Flowerful just cannot get up and running, having such a tough game here. Add another tally to the death count of Shopify. Down a player yet again, and it was just a rifle moments ago playing out towards mid. Now they're going to be met by an operator, and there's the shot, the dash away. 2 players down now are Shopify Rebellion.
Yeah, this is just, it feels kind of weird. Shopify just completely running it down, dry peeking into that operator. Panini does pick up one. Lori holding. Oh, this is actually winnable now. It was a 5v3, and now they've turned the ship around. Nothing super great to work with in this retake besides maybe the Blade Storm. Emily holding with the op, won't find herself the line. Now we have to see, can Shopify hold against this retake? They have pretty much the perfect comp to do so. Sova's still alive in way of KP, as well as Panini on the Viper. They have the tools, but now one's gone in a second as well. Donut doing everything again. She's so clutch on this Viper, and Emily's just holding it down. KP doesn't have an opportunity to deny this, and Leah assures that 11 now to TSM. The train can't be stopped.
The train can't be stopped, and what felt like the conductor early in the game steps away for a second, kind of gives up her position in Dodo Nut, gives it over to Kat for a second, but that round the most crucial, right back into her role as we get a Shopify tactical pause, something to try and derail the hype train here is TSM. It's full steam ahead, even on those retakes.
Donut. Arm's a little bit too short to re-grab her orb there, but yeah, Shopify just can't hold a post plant for the life of them. Like, I don't understand why Panini peeks there. Like she had no reason to fight Belt. It was a 3v3. I think she was trying to be the first contact for the swing down below from Maze, but that just gets dismantled. The peek is a little bit too late. I don't love the commitment to the fight there when you have the post-plant utility. Like, Shopify Rebellion, they're just having a rough one here, and it's because everyone on TSM is going huge. Like, Emily's has some crazy moments, and she's bottom fragging. Like this team is just looking consistent across this map. It's what we expected to see, but still, Shopify, I feel like they're definitely making some mistakes in these rounds. They're coming back to bite them, and now they are only 2 away from taking this to a third. Weaponry looking a little rough here. It's light armor. It's a Spectre for Panini. I feel like B might be the play, but I'd love to see just like full commitment to it, because it feels like every time we've seen them work B, it's like one early lurk and then someone dies on a rotation towards mid. Like, I don't know. I think the default right now for them isn't working super well.
This is my favorite part, my favorite aspect of any competitive game is moments like this. These are the interview questions that I love to have answered, where we kind of get inside the minds and figure out what's going on in these tactical pauses, whether it be in a winning situation or a losing situation. You know, what are the comms like, and what are you looking at specifically? Obviously, when you take a look at that leaderboard, Flowerful kind of sticks out in terms of fragging power, but it's a pause like this that says, okay, how do we make this work, right? Flowerful, unfortunately, just not able to find it today. We all have games like that, but what can we do to work as 5 to get this done? And in this round number 19, it seems a whole lot difficult here for Shopify Rebellion, as they have 4 ultimates to worry about on the side of TSM, and a wall quite possibly up towards A to try and stop this push. Now, that tells you, though, that there's nothing stopping a mid push up into tube. We'll see if there's any kind of mid-round adjustment here from Shopify.
Yeah, they really have never put an emphasis on mid control, really, on either of these halves. They haven't. Didn't do too much to defend it. On their defensive side, now they're not doing a lot on the attack. They have been consistently popping that orb down, the poison cloud towards mid, which allows them to walk up tube. And you saw that Leah Panda did drone through tube because she was suspicious that that could be happening, but no one from Shopify really capitalizing. It's 4 postured towards B. Panini on that lurk towards mid. And with the dart up, this looks just to be a hard execute. Really on Kath here. Can she get it done? First frag. Yeah, absolutely. Dismiss available. She'll get away for free. Oh, maybe not. Spam's good.
Yep, Flowerful able to double her kills here, and one of the most important ones in that to take Kath off the board, who maybe got a little ahead of herself. It's Flowerful able to use that resurrection to get Diana back online, so it's a player advantage for Shopify. The wall goes through. The Empress popped as well. Diana now needs to be the driving force for this team, as a couple of kills traded back and forth, but it's still TSM behind. Diana gonna go wide on the shots. KP to get that spike down. 12 seconds on the clock. Make it 11. As it gets planted. It's a 2-player lead. Nope. Now make things even. There's only a 1-player lead as Panini finds that kill onto Dodo. Nice Hunter's Fury from KP, able to take down their counterparts. Our Shopify Rebellion now only 2 more to worry about with low HP. Athena, the last one standing. The shots are on target, and off the back end of a tactical timeout, Shopify get it done.
Yeah, it's a really simple round where they just play the mid round for a moment. Thus far, when they were doing that, it didn't look super successful, but here it was. Finally an emphasis on mid. They heard that wall they were talking about in towards the A site. They know that there's likely not an aggressive hold towards mid, or at least there's not a Sage wall towards mid as a result. So you have Panini on that walk up. She nets one off the flank. The site is already secured. The plant's already going down. And then Panini, or excuse me, it wasn't Panini, it was Flowerful actually. It's a second frag, but it's an impact frag. Killing Kath there. If she had gotten away and managed to pop that Empress, I think it would have been a different story. And because these rounds have always been so close, TSM is immediately reset. This is a great look for Shopify, and this makes this game very winnable.
Very winnable. And at the very least, that lead cut down to 2 quite possibly after this one. Now, outside of this round, in that last round, we saw the wall out towards A. And the response from TSM to make sure nobody was pushing mid, I'm going to hold that thought as Panini. I get a couple of eco frags here. No, it's the Sheriff up close and personal right to the face. Now 1 known on the flank. No way! Athena gets it done again as Lori finds a couple of frags. You have to be terrified of this Sage on TSM with the Sheriff in hand. Now quite possibly some upgraded weaponry. TSM looking to make us eat our words as Laurie goes good for 3. Flowerful able to hop on the board as well. Now Kath has been the driving force for this team. And with full HP, a Lear, and a Phantom, can she continue to push forward? The conductor of the TSM hype train will fall. It's a 4K for Laurie, and Shopify barely sneak out another round.
Dude, if I'm Shopify, I am just thanking God that I have Laurie in that round, because the Sheriff's going huge there. Athena on the quick peek gets 1. Kat trying to find her impact as well, but thankfully for the Shopify camp, they're able to shut that down. Still TSM, I'm sure they're feeling pretty happy about that, right? It's a bit of a confidence booster. You're able to deal so much damage, your shots are hitting, you're feeling good, especially for Kath and Dodonut, who are having really great games here. Now the money's right back with them. I'm sure the comms right now from Kath are just 1 round at a time. Whatever. We're close to closing. Just keep it up. Don't make these little mistakes and we will be fine. Emily's anchoring alone towards B. There's a pit out towards A, which means mid control can be a bit more of an emphasis from Shopify, and Laurie capitalizing off of that. She's up top tube with the blades, which has drawn 2 to work for kitchen control here.
And I believe a tag out towards mid with that owl drone. Emily, the operator in hand, not able to find the jiggle peak there. The shot will go wide. KP lives to fight another round, but now they know exactly where the operator is playing, so they can play on the opposite side of the map. They do need to be wary of a play out towards mid, but a wall goes up. It's going to stop any shots from coming, and Kat the first to fall here in this round. A great start for Shopify to try and find double digits themselves as Dodo forced to push forward, able to find Diana, looking to creep on through the Viper's pit. I mean, that's the best way to deal with it. You don't go through it, you go around it. Shopify have secured their position on the A side, all 4 players now stuck on the inside, but they don't have much space to work with as Dodo plays on the opposite side. They all start to get mowed down, leaving it up to KP as the pit will fall. Surely KP will as well. The trigger discipline able to find the first, trying to spray through the spike. They've got the pings, but the reload, no time as TSM look to sneak away another round. And that they do. 12-9 map point for TSM.
Donut just made herself the table for TSM to hit the hammer on there. She kept things cool. She kept herself alive. It didn't really matter if she was finding frags. She did pick up 1, but her pit basically means that main is a non-option for Shopify. And for players like Panini or KP, who late round might want to try and use that utility in the post plant, that's off the table because you don't have any space to extend into. They just had to take the brawls on site, and TSM were very quick to do so. They kind of pushed when Shopify was still making that decision of, do we aggress towards mid or, oh no, Panini screws up the timing, and well, that's actually crucial because that orb can never come back, and she's a sole controller, so now the only utility is the wall, and it's just the conditioning wall. They just kind of have to work things dry in towards this A site, and Emily's holding the one way.
You know, if they can get on the site, they could quite possibly secure the round with the Viper's pit, but that is a very tall ask. Looks like their buy is quite hindered. Cloudburst rated out on the site. Nice poison cloud. Gonna find a one-way. The Tozy spotted out and taken down is Panini. So Shopify down a player. Diana's able to trade 1 back. It's a Spectre in hand. So the running gun lands good for the headshot onto Leah. But Emily gonna stop the plant for a second. 55 seconds on the clock as the kills can continue to go back and forth. The spike will finally be planted, but here we go. It's the long-awaited lurk. Kat can get spotted out, but is Athena accounted for? Running out of time here. KP now in a 1v1 situation, able to back away. No utility is going to go right to the gunfight and get it done. Double digits for Shopify.
What is that from KP? She finds so much impact in the clutch. The 1 versus 2, the little knife looking strong in her hands. She'll take it home. Wow. Just what an adjustment. TSM, I felt like they were playing that perfectly. They had the pinch coming through. They had the double flank. They never knew that there was a second player, but there's some things you just can't quite account for, and it was KP. Now they're only 2 away from closing, and just look at this buy from TSM. This is basically going to be decided by that 24th round. That'll be the last chance for TSM to close out, and if it heads to overtime, who knows what can happen. Shopify, they've read this perfectly. TSM made the stack in towards A. I'd expect them to work this 5-man flank, but at least someone should be watching.
Yeah, and it's a situation where you see that their economy's in a rough spot, so you say, hey, be careful of the close angles, And with that drone, you cleared out everything. So you know that you can just push up for free and take this site. Oh, that's rough. You gotta swing the other way as the go shot's gonna go wide here for a second. Kath to fall, and now the player down her TSM. It's all really in the hands of Emily here. As KP finds the next, and the eco frags to continue to push on through. Blade's able to find one, so looking to do damage, hurt the economy of Shopify's. Athena still going good for frags with the Sheriff. How does she continue to get it done? Unfortunately for TSM, it's only the one there, as Shopify have pushed us to the last round of regulation. And it should be full buys across the board.
Yeah, it really should be. For TSM, you gotta look to Kath and Athena right now. They're the veterans on this squad. Keep things calm. Keep everyone centered. Know that it's just another round, that it doesn't matter even if it slips away from them. They will always have this game in the bag, because there's a lot of young players on this squad. Donut, pretty new to the comp scene, at least to my knowledge. So is Emily and Leah. Like, you just gotta keep everyone centered. Keep things going. Can't let that mental slip away from them. And, well, for Shopify, they're just feeling it right now. They just have to keep up with their pace. They only need one more round to win this out, and that's such a good start. Paranoia up, as well as that Hunter's Fury actually doesn't find anything. So $400 in an ult for really nothing, but thankfully for Shopify, it's Panini across the map.
Yeah, and finding Kath. Now, that is one conductor down for the TSM frag train. And Dodo's across the map, so with the Viper's Pit, this is looking very winnable for Shopify as Diana finds another frag. It's not a Sheriff in the hands of Athena this time, so no frags to come on through as the walls go up. Flowerful able to hop on the board, cut it down to the last two, and Shopify Rebellion have found a way to get us to overtime. Nearly. Two players still to worry about. The B players slowly rotating on over. You're expecting people to be playing inside that pit, but who's playing on the outside? It's Diana with the Empress on. It's Dodo to find that frag. It's still an operator in the hands of Emily. Will she change weapons? It sounded like she did. So 33 health on the Viper. Just about full HP on the Jet as Emily dashes on through. Going to be taken down to the pit, but finds the Viper. Makes this winnable, a 1v2 situation. Dodo has to do it again to try and close things out, but spotted out by the Bolt and taken down by Flowerful. We're headed to overtime.
Overtime secured. TSM, they had such a lead going in, but Shopify battled back in a huge way. Heads up placed on this attacker side. They will be rewarded for it. Now, you have to think who could be coming out on favor in the second half. I feel like TSM is in a good spot, because they get to start out on the attacking side. That's where they were finding the majority of their success. So long as they can start strong, so long as they can get themselves going early on here and win this first round, I think they're still set up to come out on top. But Shopify, they've had an entire half to chill out. They've had an entire half to mull the things over and figure out their issues, and we see a change up this time. It's 2 in towards A. It's actually going to be KP anchoring mid alone. However, you see Dodo is postured to work that mid control. I think the biggest thing for Shopify is finding a solution for that play that was just a complete thorn in their side. But look at this. Diana has a sneaky corner, and Panini's job is to just bait in for her. This could go huge.
So this is kind of what we saw from TSM in the last, where you kind of do the bait and switch with the drone, but it didn't get any value for TSM, right? Emily had never gone spotted with the operator out towards B long, and well, Shopify just ran the opposite way. Oh no, they're just giving up so much here, but maybe not spotted yet. Oh my god, Diana, the trigger discipline, able to find 2 on the round, 1 across the map, but the kills are traded back almost evenly. Lori forced to hop down from tube, takes quite a bit of damage in doing so, so needs to be careful. But it's only 2 remaining here as the cloud burst goes down. Another one to follow. The spike to be planted. The shots will land. A 2v2 situation as Flowerful goes wide on the shot. Slow orb to try and keep the Jet at bay. They're both so low. This is winnable for the Sage of Shopify Rebellion. One able to cross over towards long. Hunter's Fury available. The footsteps going to be heard here. It's just going to take a couple of body shots to close this one out as Flowerful looks to get on the spike. Will tap it once. The Hunter's Fury not going to find the shots to land just yet as the ring around the Rosie on the yellow box. Emily has assumed her position on the site. The shots will land from Leah, and TSM have found a way to win the first round in overtime.
Wow, that feels like a bit of a fumble from Shopify. They had every opportunity to close out right then and there. Like, Diana let her teammate die. I don't know if I like that, because she has the dismiss. You can get one there, you can dismiss away, you can play together with your teammate towards box, but she lets her teammate die, that's fine, but she only gets 2 for it. Only keeps it even. That is really not enough from that position, and that allowed TSM to just have the odds to fight back in. Emily going aggressive there and Leah going big early on had earned herself that Hunter's Fury, and then it's just, without that wall, quite an unwinnable situation for Panini to be in. Shopify though, they can't let that round get to them. They just have to keep going here and tie us up, take us to another overtime. TSM aggressive, and look at this, Kath has walked up so far, and that's a complete freebie.
And this is similar to what we saw from the attacking side of Shopify, where they push on forward and they take Kath down nice and early, and that just opens up so much space. It's Kath instead to do it to Shopify, a 1-for-1. So the wall goes up, the spike goes down. Leah gonna employ the drone here for some information. Not able to find the tag, but spots one, backing away. It's KP as the snake bite goes through. It's gonna clear out the 410 corners, and on top of 410, I believe Lori goes unspotted only for a moment though, as she sends out some rounds down range. Only able to trade out damage. Lori now needs to back away. Recon Bolt gonna be taken down, as is Flowerful. It's TSM with the player advantage. But the post plant is there. It's in full effect as the snake bite goes down. Shopify just trying to wear out the clock. Lori dancing around as Panini finds one up towards pipes. Lori's able to find another, make it another. 3 quick kills. Leave it all up to Athena, who's done it before but can't do it here. 13-13, Mimi. We're headed to double OT.
Double OT secured here. The Shopify Rebels, they lose out on that early pick. Kath goes aggressive, nets a freebie, but then Shopify is able to just fight back in immediately. And I feel like we haven't seen a lot of rounds where they really lean on the post plant utility, but this time they do. Works so perfectly for them. The Viper Mollies keep TSM off the spike, as well as the darts to delay just a tad bit more time. Allows for that nice and easy mop up. Shopify Rebellion, another go at this defensive side, but it has to be something new again. You can't do that Diana play again whatsoever here, because that's something that only really works once. And with TSM, they're not going to fall for anything like that again, because this time, a lot of emphasis on mid. 3 players working this direction.
In a really interesting play, they wall up long B. They give up a crossover towards yellow.
Yeah.
It's all about what you can find off the back end as Emily goes up on top of the tube early. Reloading will get dinked. Diana forced to back away. Now the Jet on 10 HP will receive the healing orb, so won't quite be topped off as Diana looks to go right back to it. The ADS not going to find the shots just yet. Emily still challenging, though, so a scary spot is, well, what do you know? Up towards kitchen. It's Kath, it's Athena, it's a dynamic duo, usually working the flank together. Now working the kitchen together as both Lears go through, stampeding as the rest of the squad looks to pinch Flowerful. Now in a tough spot, stuck in the tube. KP gonna be the first to fall. Athena, that's that frag, and Panini not able to find anything there. Flowerful now in a really dire spot, trying to stop the plant, but just can't do it. TSM with 5 alive as Lori looks to go to work here in a 1v5 situation on the B side. Not able to find anything as the shock darts close us out. A flawless round for TSM to grab a lead in double OT.
Take a shot every time TSM walks up too. Like, how many times has this happened? Like, I was a fan of the play from Shopify there. You have that wall, which kind of allows this extension out towards yellow, and that makes that area of the map very easy to anchor. But again, they neglect to put anyone controlling this kitchen area. TSM garners so much space off of it, and then the players that are normally stuck out towards main, they just get pinched at yellow and are cut down quite easily. Shopify again on the back foot. As we switch on over to their attacking side, well, let's see if they still have creativity. Looks like there's a pause out. I'd garner that that's likely from Shopify.
Yes, I think so as well. Okay, so TSM actually going to take that one. I think Shopify paused twice. I don't know if you get any going into overtime.
I'm not
so. 100% too sure, but either way, it works well for both teams. And this is a good time to do it because it's kind of been the attacking side, right, that has played well for both teams. So it's TSM just saying, hey, how do we not go into triple OT? Like, what can we do to stop these ladies from, kind of having their way with whatever site they choose? And I think a really good start would be Panini hitting that smoke out towards mid, right? It's going to allow for obviously a whole lot more. And so a play that I was talking about a little bit earlier, I don't think we see it here because of where Athena is positioned. But when Athena walled off A, it forced Leah to rotate from mid. So Athena picked up the mid peak. and then they droned through tube. So even though they didn't use the wall inside a tube, they still had other ways to make sure that nobody was lurking up. And that's kind of what we missed, or what we didn't see from Shopify very early in the match, which, you know, maybe had that not happened, right? If you make that adjustment a bit earlier, maybe we're not in this position. Maybe you're out of here nice and early in the grand finals in 2-0 fashion.
Well, I'll have to see if that can happen here. Shopify working on this attack. It's just a fast look in towards the B site. TSM, I mean, they have a very retake heavy setup here. I doubt they'll be able to contest early on unless Dodonut can do it with a molly.
And I didn't see who they gave that orb over to. I would imagine it went to Flowerful for the resurrection, but it easily could have been KP as well. As one snake bite used, the toxins sure to go down soon. Athena to be taken off the board nice and early as Flowerful pushes through, and the wall just immediately decimated. So no real safe haven here to get this fight down before the cloud comes up once more. Damage traded, but no frags to be found. And now Flowerful quite possibly just one frag away from having a resurrection should Shopify need it. And with the wall up, the operator not able to find the value. Now TSM working against the clock, a player down, but Cat, they queue up the Leers. It's Cat to look to go aggressive, and what will they find? The defuse to come on through. Nice shots as Emily and Dodo hop on the board. Cat will finally fall, but the spike goes halfway. A cloudburst in a 3v3 situation. Emily just gonna hop right on it. Lori looks away, and they've got to get something done right here, right now. It comes down to a ninja.